morning everyone, welcome again to my channel. It's been an exciting week with making a lot of trial and error with our pizza crust, but today in our kitchen we are making quinoa pizza crust. It can be a great replacement for our gluten-free lovers. So we are also going to make some cauliflower pizza this week, but that is coming in my next videos. But right now we are focusing on the quinoa pizza crust. For that, let's get started. Get started on our ingredients. I have zoomed it in for you guys to see the ingredients. It's very simple. Over here I have the quinoa seeds. You can get it from any organic store or even from Bob's Red Mill, which I highly recommend. And over here I have the seasonings, oregano. You can also use black pepper. I have garlic salt and thyme. And over here I have stevia, which is a plant-based natural sweetener. Here I have the Nutritional yeast, which is natural. And I have the cayenne pepper. This is a sea salt that is in a crystal form. I'm just going to crush it in. And the most important ingredient of all, which we forgot, is the water. And let's get started. Alright, let's get started with our grinding process. For this recipe, I usually recommend the food processor, but today my food processor is not ready. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the Vitamix. You can use any blender of your choice. And first things first is we're going to do the water, because this is a wet mix. So I have to add water. And I'm just going to add our quinoa seeds. This is a multigrain quinoa seed. And I'm going to add our seasonings. You can be creative and add any seasoning of your choice. I'm adding a little bit of garlic salt just for that garlicky tint to it, but not to a point where it can become too much salty. So watch out for that. And the next one is the thyme. And I'm just going to use my cayenne pepper. If you cannot handle any yeast for activation, I have another recipe. It's a wonderful recipe for quinoa chia bread where I use the apple cider vinegar. You can also use lemon juice if you like. But for this recipe, we are using Nutritional yeast. Okay, and the next one is 1 teaspoon of stevia. The reason why we are adding stevia is in the place of sugar. So sugar feeds the yeast, so the yeast has to absorb the sugar, so our bread will be fluffy and nice. And 1 tablespoon of Nutritional yeast. And just a pinch of salt, maybe like a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to grind it in. Not too much. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and blend it on high speed. It is very well grind, but it has to be a little thicker than that. I'm not happy with the consistency, but I will show you. It has to be a little thick, like not a batter, not a dough. It's supposed to be somewhere in the middle. But I will show you what I have done here. I have added a little bit more water, so next time you don't do that. So this is the consistency. I'm just going to take a round pan and I'm going to pour it into my parchment paper. But before that, I'm doing something different this time. I'm going to wet my parchment paper so that way it is easy to work with. If not, it is going to flow here and there and it is going to be a mess and hard to work with. So I'll be back. I have washed it very nicely. This is really wet right now. What I have done is I basically rinsed it out the tap. So this is easy, and I rinsed it one more time with filtered water, so make sure you do that too. Sitting in one place over here, just going to pour our batter, and it has to be a little more thicker than this consistency, but never mind, we are going to bake it and see how it comes out. But when you guys are making it, definitely read the description and the measurement on the ingredients, so that will help you not to make a mess. And this is definitely a trial and error. I have made it a couple of times. It came really well and delicious for our pizza. And I don't miss my gluten pizza, because I have so many varieties right now to try out, especially with the cauliflower pizza too. So stay tuned for that video. Alright, I have poured it into my pan very nicely. So I can go ahead and bend the rest of the parchment paper so it is easy to put it in the oven for baking. See, my batter is a little loose, so that's why it is everywhere, but not bad. That is why you have to watch my videos, so you don't make a mistake, and I always give you a tip at the end or in the middle or sometimes in the beginning. Now I have to put it in the oven for 425 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes or until it is brown. And to let you guys know, my oven is already on preheat, and I'll be back. Our quinoa pizza crust is ready. Because I added excessive amount of water, it took a little longer than expected to bake, but it came out pretty well, so I am not very much concerned about that. But if you are, please reduce the amount of water, and everything is in the description box regarding the measurements, etc. So let me show you how it has come out. Here, look at that. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove it, and I will tell you what I have done. I have let it sit for like 30 minutes, and now I'm just going to remove it and show it to you. And over here, I'm just going to go ahead and put it in my plate so I can show you better. Here I have my plate, and I'm just going to go ahead and flip it. And as you can see, it is really hard on the surface, but I'm just going to flip it to show you guys. And voila, your pizza crust is ready. And over here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it back, and you can also use it like a bread. I'm just going to cut it and show you how you can use it as a bread, and or you can also use it like a pizza crust, and you can see the beautiful crust on top, and you can put any toppings. So initially you will be putting like tomato sauce, and you will be adding on some vegan cheese on top because this is a casein-free recipe, and you can also add like jalapenos, bell peppers, onions, mushrooms on top, and it forms a great pizza. But stay tuned for my pizza recipe as well. Here I'm just going to show how you can make your quinoa bread. Just going to cut it like that. Really yummy, guys. Here we go. This is your quinoa bread. So this is 2-in-1 kind of recipe. What do you know? You just started with one recipe and it ended up in 2 recipes. So one is the quinoa pizza crust, and the other one is quinoa bread. Both are so delicious. But if you have time, you definitely work on the pizza idea that I gave you guys. And if you don't have time and you're just in a hurry to nibble on this, definitely try quinoa bread. Both are very delicious. And I hope you like this video, and please do subscribe to my channel.